Hello, everyone. I had a thought today that I wanted to share with you all. It seems very interesting to me. This is not a medical. It's not a medical discussion. It's rather philosophical. But it's a story of me as a child. I thought about this today. When I was a little child, I don't know how old I was. I must have been a very young age. I was a child, and I was really struck um, by a proverb that I read. I can remember the feeling that I had when I read it, and it hit me so much that I could never forget. Well, the saying is, "History repeats itself." I remember then when I read it as a child, I tried. It hit me in a way, kind of inexplicably. Um, it hit me. I wanted to grasp what it meant as a child already, and until or through all my years, until now. I thought about it ever since I read it the first time. I kept analyzing what it meant. I know that when I was a child, first thing that I thought, maybe that's a naive thought, I don't know. I thought, but that's not logical. It doesn't make sense. Why would history repeat itself when people learn from their mistakes, or why does that how can that even happen? It's not logical. That can be. That's what I thought as a child. And then I wanted to analyze. I wanted to analyze it. I wanted to know. And then I kept researching my family history. I kept comparing. Ever since I read that proverb, I kept comparing everything. I kept comparing. I thought I went into my family history, and I was analyzing. Did anything in my generation that happened to my generation happen to my parents' generation in my own family, or did something happen their parents? Are there certain themes that keep reoccurring? Is that possible? And then I found out some things, and those themes that keep reappearing. Is there any way that any generation can handle this differently, or is it always exactly the same, or are there the same topics or themes, but that are handled differently? Whatever. Then, as getting older, I thought you think in bigger dimensions, and then you think, history repeats itself. Not only, or of course, not only in families, but also psychologically. I think this is a very interesting. Um, when things happen, are there certain themes that keep happening over and over? Sometimes I think that's true. In a way, it's true, but is that a natural law? Is that a natural law? In history, for example, are there, when we think of medieval times, when we think of hundreds of years ago, and when we think of now, when we think of, yeah, um, are there themes that are the same, that keep reappearing? Um, if so, why is that? Maybe that's a natural, if it's a natural law, is that maybe to, that's what I'm thinking. Is it because nature, evolution keeps reminding, for example, applied to the human race, because I can only speak for the human race. Maybe it's like a constant reminder for humans to keep evolving and to keep working. For example, do we have to work for peace? do certain things keep appearing? Do they reoccur and occur um, just for the benefit of a species, for the benefit of evolution, um, as a reminder and as motivation for people to do something? Because we can never get too comfortable. Or is that a way of nature telling us we can't get too comfortable? We have to work. Because thinking back in history, I think there weren't really times where people were too comfortable for a very, very long period of time. Something keeps happening. That's nature, probably. That's just natural laws. But if there are certain topics and certain themes that are similar, or where you can find parallels to each other, what is the evolution of human beings? Does evolution mean, because now we're more evolved than 100 years ago, we know more now than we did 100 years ago, and people 100 years ago knew more than people from more ancient times. So is the clue that we keep facing obstacles or challenges that are kind of the same, of a same quality, but we have more power now because we are more evolved and we know more. So I think it would be kind of logical that we can always handle it better because we know more. So, for example, could we handle a certain situation that's maybe reoccurring just because that's the way that things go in nature? Can we handle this now better because we know more, because we have more experience? And can we, because we know so much, for example, or I was just thinking today, really, what can we do to make things better than our ancestors, than people, yeah, before us, than generations before us? How can we do that? And I thought that we're in a time where we speak and where we have a privilege, that we know a lot about emotions and we know how important they are and how important love is. That doesn't mean love for a specific person, but love as itself. For example, can we do things better when we just act out of love? That's a personal belief. I think that when you act out of love, when we act out of love and empathy for people, we can always find the right thing to do. Yeah, when we act with kindness. That's just a thought. If you have, if you have any kind of opinions, any kinds of thoughts, I would really love to know. I'm very interested. As you can tell, I'm very, very fascinated by this kind of topic. If you have any ideas, I'm very interested. Just let me know in the commentaries below. Let me know. I wish you all the best and have a very good start into the new year. Have a very peaceful and loving and free start into 2022. All the best.